Hey everyone. When we talk about NIO, one thing that instantly stands out is its bold approach to solving one of the biggest challenges in the electric vehicle world: battery management. While most automakers have focused on developing faster chargers or larger battery packs, NIO took a different route. They built an entire ecosystem around battery swapping technology. And over the years, this unique system has evolved into something that's not only practical, but has become a cornerstone of NIO's brand identity and competitive advantage in the EV space. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. But here's where things get really interesting. Other players are now entering this space. And when the world's largest battery producer starts investing heavily in the same concept, you know it's not just a niche experiment anymore, it's the future of EV infrastructure. So today, we're going to dive deep into how NIO's battery swapping network compares to what CATL and other emerging competitors are building, what this means for the broader EV market, and why this technology could redefine how we think about owning and maintaining electric vehicles. By now, most EV enthusiasts already know that NIO's battery swapping stations are not just a fancy feature, they are a practical innovation that directly addresses two major concerns every EV buyer has: time and cost. Unlike traditional charging, where you might spend 30 minutes to an hour waiting, NIO users can replace a depleted battery with a fully charged one in just about 2.5 minutes. It's quick, effortless, and most importantly, fully automated. We've all seen countless testimonials from NIO owners who praise how smooth and convenient the experience is. The car drives itself into the station, swaps its battery, and drives itself out, all without the driver needing to lift a finger. It's one of those technologies that you have to see to truly appreciate. And now, what makes this development even more exciting is that other major players have started to replicate this very concept. One of the biggest names stepping into the battery swapping game is CATL, the world's largest manufacturer of EV batteries. CATL recently announced that it has successfully deployed around 700 battery swapping stations across China, with a goal of hitting 1,000 stations by the end of this year and scaling up to 2,500 stations by next year. For a company that already dominates global EV battery production, this expansion signals a powerful shift in strategy. CATL isn't just supplying batteries anymore. It's entering the service infrastructure business as well. This move makes perfect sense, since CATL already produces the majority of EV batteries used in China, including the ones for NIO, Onvo, and even several other new energy vehicle brands. The company is strategically positioning itself to profit twice. On one hand, it earns from selling or leasing batteries, and on the other, it earns from the swapping services built around those same batteries. In other words, CATL is creating an ecosystem where it controls both the product and the platform, a very smart play from a business perspective. However, despite CATL's massive manufacturing capacity and its growing network of swapping stations, NIO still holds a clear technological advantage, and it all comes down to software integration. NIO's entire swapping process is powered by an advanced software system that allows seamless communication between the car and the station. When a NIO or Onvo vehicle approaches a swapping station, the car automatically aligns itself, communicates wirelessly with the station system, and begins the swap all autonomously. This autonomous capability isn't just a gimmick, it's the result of years of R&D that ties directly into NIO's autonomous driving framework. CATL might build 1,000 stations, but it will take time before their software can offer the same user experience NIO drivers currently enjoy. Moreover, since CATL works with many different automakers, integrating their system into each brand's vehicle software could become complicated and expensive, as each company may require different levels of software updates or licensing. For NIO, this seamless experience already exists across all its brands, from NIO to Onvo, and soon even Firefly. That means users across its ecosystem can benefit from the same smooth, fully autonomous swapping experience without worrying about software compatibility or update fees. Another key point that strengthens NIO's position is its upcoming move into in-house battery manufacturing. Until now, NIO has relied on CATL and a few other suppliers for its battery cells. But by the end of this year, NIO plans to start producing its own batteries in collaboration with partners, giving them more control over design, cost, and performance. Once this happens, NIO's battery swapping ecosystem will become even more vertically integrated. The company will own the batteries, the stations, the software, and the vehicles themselves. Now, in terms of scale, NIO has already deployed over 3,500 battery swapping stations across China, making it the undisputed leader in this segment. Although NIO's initial goal was to reach 5K stations by the end of this year, current estimates suggest they may finish closer to 4K. And that's still a huge number, especially when you consider the strategic logic behind their placement. You see, NIO doesn't just install swapping stations randomly. They build them based on regional demand. When a city or province begins to show an increase in NIO, Envo, or Firefly vehicle registrations, and the usage data signals a need for better service coverage, that's when NIO adds a new station. This targeted approach ensures efficient capital use, which is crucial at a time when the company is also balancing growth with profitability goals. Even NIO's CEO has emphasized this strategy multiple times, noting that each station costs a significant amount to build and maintain. In Europe, for example, NIO's swapping stations are substantially more expensive than those in China due to regulatory and construction costs. So rather than rushing expansion, NIO prefers smart deployment, building where there's actual usage demand and where it can deliver the highest return on investment. Meanwhile, CATL's rapid build-out of swapping infrastructure does something very important for the overall EV market. It validates NIO's original vision. For years, many critics questioned whether battery swapping was sustainable or scalable. Now, seeing CATL, the largest EV battery producer in the world, actively investing in the same model, it confirms that this concept isn't just viable, it's becoming essential. The convenience of battery swapping isn't limited to China either. In Europe, similar initiatives are now gaining traction. One company, for example, has started deploying swapping systems for the Fiat 500 EV, allowing drivers to replace their batteries in about 5 minutes. While that's impressive, it's still nearly double the time NIO's latest generation swapping stations require, which complete the process in roughly 2.5 minutes. That speed difference shows just how far ahead NIO's engineering and automation really are. And when you think about the broader implications, battery swapping offers enormous benefits to EV owners. One of the biggest is cost predictability. Traditional EV ownership often comes with concerns about battery degradation and warranty expiration. After around 5 years, most vehicle warranties expire, meaning if your battery fails or loses performance, replacing it could cost anywhere between $15K and $60K, depending on the vehicle. That's a massive financial burden for the average owner. But through NIO's battery as a service BaaS subscription model, those concerns disappear. Users don't technically own the battery, they subscribe to it. That means maintenance, upgrades, and replacements are covered under the service. You pay a monthly fee, and you're always guaranteed a working, high-performance battery. No sudden repair bills. No battery anxiety. And as battery technology evolves, you can swap into a newer, more efficient pack without buying an entirely new car. This kind of model extends the lifespan and value of every vehicle, making EV ownership not only more affordable but also far more sustainable. It's a model that aligns perfectly with the global push towards circular energy use, where batteries are constantly reused, recycled, and repurposed across different vehicles and customers. So, what does all of this mean in the bigger picture? Well, NIO is no longer standing alone in its battery swapping journey, and that's actually a good thing. The fact that CATL, Europe's automakers, and other Chinese companies are entering this space shows that the industry is finally acknowledging the value and practicality of what NIO built years ago. NIO still holds the technological lead, especially in automation, software integration, and user experience. Its stations are faster, smarter, and more seamlessly connected to the vehicles they serve. But the rise of CATL as a competitor means the ecosystem will grow faster, adoption will spread quicker, and more EV users will experience the convenience of swapping over charging. Looking ahead, NIO's ability to start producing its own batteries will likely reshape its cost structure and strengthen its independence from suppliers. And as battery swapping becomes more widely accepted worldwide, NIO's early mover advantage could position it as the global benchmark for this technology, the company that proved a bold idea wasn't just possible, but inevitable. In short, what once seemed like a risky experiment has become a roadmap for the future of EVs. Battery swapping isn't just NIO's advantage anymore, it's becoming the next chapter in how the world powers its electric vehicles. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing, and see you in the next video.